What's going on, everyone? Good morning. We got ourselves leg day today. And the thing is that it's not going to be the best leg day in the world. And the reason for that is because I'm injured. I wouldn't say that I'm at the pinnacle of injury, but I am in the recovery stage. And so I actually haven't been training legs that hard for the past couple weeks. I necessarily shouldn't say that. I did train them fairly hard last week, but that's when I noticed that, yeah, I cannot train that hard right now with my legs, running, and a lot of things that simply just involve my legs. So we have just very basic leg day today. Nothing insane, nothing crazy at all whatsoever. It's going to be very isolated around the quads and the hamstrings, as legs always is, but not in the sense of like squat, hack squat, any machine that is causing me to basically use my hips at this point in time. And dang, that is freaking bright. Those guys' brights on, can you please turn those off? Yeah, now I'm gonna get in now because that guy's lights are pissing me off. Starting out with today's workout, we're doing some leg extensions. Now, although I'm not squatting today, one of the things I strongly suggest doing if you are someone who's squatting, maybe even if it's just leg press, hack squat, any sort of big compound movement or big machine that you're doing that is going to really put a lot of demand on your legs, I strongly suggest doing the leg extension machine first, because it will get a lot more blood into the quads and you'll actually have a better workout on things like squats, things like the hack squat, everything I literally just mentioned. So definitely hop on this, it'll help. I wouldn't necessarily recommend hopping on this if you are going to do like a strength workout and going for like a 1 rep max, maybe, but you just have to make the weight for that then very light, just to at least warm up for the 1 rep max and whatnot. But other than that, yeah, if you're just training for a hypertrophy, hop on this thing first. It gives you such a better leg workout. This is coming from experience on my end, and it's been advice that tons of bodybuilders will give you. My dad has told me to do that so many times, and as of recently, I've been doing that. Granted, can't do squats today, so that sucks. We're kind of just sticking to this and then the other single leg movement that we have. Weakest leg days I've had in a very long time. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna be doing some things to strengthen this right hip of mine. That's the hip that I'm currently having the biggest issue with. I'll put up each workout on screen, but the first workout we're doing is literally some lateral leg raises. I didn't realize how weak that part of my hip was until I actually did those PT workouts. And then the next workout we're gonna do is literally just a step up onto a platform. And that is to help just strengthen the stability and also the muscle itself of this part of my hip. So we're gonna work on that. The music's blasting, so I'm gonna get out of here because you probably had a difficult time hearing me. Wheel package dropped off at the post office this morning, and yeah, that's nice. That's always good. Getting a package ordered and delivered is always a really cool thing. Like, it's just a dopamine hit I can't explain. Probably because it's contributing to a bigger purpose than just my clothing brand. I've kind of talked about this before. I want to eventually like host event groups one day for Kill Bill, where like
people go out to, maybe we host an event in San Diego and people come, there's like free food, there's free this, we're maybe going for a run or whatever it might be. And yeah, that's kind of the image. And so every time someone contributes to that, it just gets me closer and closer to that goal one day. So that's really cool. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to anyone who appreciates or supports Kill Built. And if you guys want to support, maybe you guys didn't know about it, there's a Google shop down below in the YouTube thing, and code Levi or Kill Built 10 will save you 10% off. But right now we're going to Costco. We got to pick up some things. I've been neglecting Costco simply because I hate people. I'm just kidding. I don't hate people, but I hate being clustered around people. That is something I don't necessarily like. I don't mind being around to people as long as it's not for grocery shopping, I guess you could say, or shopping in general, just because you're trying to grab things, you're trying to be in and out, and yeah, it's chaotic. So we're going to go to Costco, grab a couple things. The only reason I'm going there is because the grocery store, sure, can sometimes match the prices of Costco, but what ends up happening is that I run out sooner. So at least with Costco, I can get a ton of things. It lasts me a whole week rather than going to the grocery store like 50 times during 1 week. So we're heading out really quick, and there's a crow holding some bread. Alright, so this is everything we got. Eggs, cottage cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese. I did not need a cream cheese thing that big. What else we got? We got some chicken thighs, and that was pretty much it. The reason I got the cream cheese and the cottage cheese is because I found this recipe on TikTok. I know, I feel weird saying that, like, oh, this recipe on TikTok, but it's the reality of how things are. So we're gonna make burritos with it. I might show you guys later. Yeah, I'll probably show you later. I have to make them today. But all of this came out to only $58. If I had to buy my ground beef, I don't buy my ground beef here because it's too expensive. But if I did, it would be roughly probably $75, $80 total. Multiply that times 4 because I have to go to the grocery store every week. $240, $260 give or take with tax. So not too much in groceries per month for myself. Now, you can always make your grocery shopping cheaper. For example, you know, I can make it even cheaper than that. Like, I could have bought a different style of egg, but I try not to buy eggs from chickens that are like so close together that they can't breathe. And then you don't have to buy like sauces or anything, but I did that. So again, you can make grocery shopping cheaper, especially if you're someone who's like into fitness. I would even argue that it's cheaper than buying all the processed food that you get, simply because that processed food doesn't fill you up as much, so you're eating more of it, and then you have to buy more of it because you're eating more of it. But other than that, that's what we got from Costco. Again, I do go and get meat somewhere else. I go to my dad's store. My dad does own a grocery store, but it's not like I get it for free. He just owns an outlet grocery store. So if you guys have heard of like a Nike outlet where like all the Nike stuff is cheaper, it's like that, but for groceries, grocery outlet. If you guys are from the West Coast, you guys know about those stores, or from Pennsylvania, but most East Coast or Central America people don't know about it. But it is actually pretty insane how much money you can save there. But we gotta get some gas, and then we'll meal prep that stuff, and I'll show you guys what it's looking like later. So in today's video, and I say it like that because in the last couple of videos I've ended on talking points, and I genuinely don't really like ending on talking points, simply because I'm usually sharing some sort of bad news with you guys. But hey, that's life. You can't have good news without the bad news, or else it wouldn't be life. But I made a post on my Instagram. I don't know how many of you guys are following me on Instagram. If you guys aren't already, there's a link down in the description for that. But I made a post, and I was talking about how I decided to basically postpone my marathon for a whole month. And I think that that may have been a little indicative by the beginning of this video, because I kind of talked about my hip giving me some problems. So in short, the reason I postponed it is because I am full-blown injured right now. My hip is just giving me the worst problems in the world. To be specific, it's my
mid-gluteal, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's my mid-gluteal, so it's part of my hip, but also part of my glute. It's giving me some terrible problems. So those workouts, again, that you saw in the beginning of the video, were workouts that are going to help strengthen that part of my mid-glute to basically prevent it from ever happening again. So yeah, I postponed it. The pain was just becoming so unbearable, and I was just like, you know, what's the point of trying to do a whole marathon prep if we're not feeling 100%? Just because, you know, there was a lot of cons to continue through the pain, you know, if I decide to do the prep, and that would be, you know, having to stop midway through because the pain got worse, or even potentially worsening the injury and having to get surgery. So I just looked at it as like God telling me, hey, this is not the time for it. And I'm actually glad that I didn't do it, because this has actually been the most hectic quarter of school that I've ever had. It's just the way that my classes are structured. I'm also in 3 different groups for these classes. And so there's a lot of outside schoolwork that I have to manage that I necessarily wasn't planning for. But hey, it is what it is. You can't, you know, pick and choose how you want life to go. So I'm just rolling with the punches right now. But anyway, I kind of want to focus on the injury a little bit and kind of talk to you guys about what's going on. So again, my mid-gluteal, I've talked about it actually a lot on the channel for like the past couple weeks. And the reason being is because I was playing pickleball when I got injured. Like I was literally playing pickleball and I got injured. And I think it was honestly just an injury building up, you know, waiting to just basically break down to the point where it is right now. But the reason I think that this ever happened is not from lifting, and it's not from doing the typical runs that I do. I think it's actually from this time in life of mine when I was a young boy. And I don't know why I just said that like that. Anyway, but I broke my leg when I was younger, right? And I did PT to get this leg basically back up with my right leg. And when we did that, I think we overcompensated a little bit. I know we did, because this leg is way stronger than my right leg, and it's actually bigger. That was one of the problems I had in one of my bodybuilding shows. I couldn't get my legs to look symmetrical because my left one was so much bigger than my right. And so I think what happened, and this is coming from not only myself, but my doctor too, we kind of assumed that this leg is lacking a little bit, especially in the hip department. And so every time that I do any sort of sport movement, this muscle in my mid-glute area is so weak that when I go and play these sports and stuff, it breaks down really easy because it never actually had time to catch back up to the kind of strength that this one has. So that's why I'm focusing on those workouts that you guys saw in the gym, recovering this muscle to get it stronger so that I can do the sports that I like outside of running and lifting. Because I don't know if you guys know this, big shocker, I like playing things like basketball and soccer and stuff for pickups. It's really fun, and pickleball. So, you know, I want to be able to get better to basically heal this so I can, you know, continue to train for my marathon. Again, lifting and running wasn't the biggest problem for me that was causing this to hurt. It was just not allowing it to get better, if that makes sense. So I'm still lifting. Obviously, you guys saw how I did the leg workout this morning. Not doing it to the point where it's going to inflame this, because doing squats or any sort of that variation will cause it to flame up, but it's not the thing that caused it in the first place. So that's what's going on, giving it a month. If any longer, we'll kind of just make decisions from there. Again, God's timing, not mine. Completely submitting to that. You know, I would love to just train, but I just know that things could get worse from here on if I try to force it. So we're not gonna. But I just want to keep you guys updated with that, because I know I'd gotten some comments lately about, oh, the marathon, I'm excited to watch this like series, gonna be so cool. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to wait a month. You know, I'm gonna have to wait a month. So it is what it is. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to share that with you guys just because, you know, you guys may have watched the videos and be like, hey, when are we competing for this marathon? And I'm over here like, well, kind of injured. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. And you know, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, be sure to give it a like. If any of you guys are new here, do not forget to press that subscribe button, because you guys know I believe that. And as always, die trying to do to love. The sky's the limit. I'll see you all in the next one.